Hey guys, Robert here bringing you another Walking Dead deceased character video. Today we are going to be looking at Beth Greene, Maggie's sister, Herschel's daughter and girlfriend to both Jimmy and Zach. Of course Beth wasn't every fan's cup of tea, but I decided to look into her anyways. Anyway, so let's get a bit into Beth. She is of course female, she is Irish American, she is first appeared in Bloodletting in Season 2 and she is played by Emily Kinney, who is also a pretty decent country artist. She is 16 in Season 2, 17 in Season 3 and 18 in Season 5, which is kind of weird considering the actress, I'm pretty sure at this point, is 30. After Herschel married Annette, she moved into Herschel's farm. She gave birth to Beth. Beth lived her entire life on the farm prior to the outbreak. As Beth grew older, Herschel still had his habit of drinking alcohol, but strictly forbade it in the family, and Beth included. Her family raised her to have good manners and behaviour, and were usually overprotective of her. Unlike Maggie, Beth was oblivious to the outside world. She used to sing and play the piano in front of people when she was young. She attended high school, along with Jimmy, and began a casual relationship with him at some point. Jimmy was also overprotective of Beth. As the apocalypse broke out, Herschel barricaded his remaining family, Jimmy, Otis and Patricia, within the farm. Beth was devastated by her mother and brother's deaths, or at least them turning into zombies. In Season 2, we see Beth around the farm a lot, gathering rocks for Otis's funeral, taking part in gun training, and crying when her zombie mother is shot and killed, but surprised that she wasn't actually dead and Beth is nearly killed by her zombified mother but is saved by Andrea. Later, depressed over what happened with her mother, she shuts down and stops talking. Andrea telling her if she wants to commit suicide, she should. Beth then breaks a mirror and cuts her wrists, but her father and Maggie patch her up. When the zombies hit the farm, Beth flees with Patricia, but Patricia is grabbed by the walkers as Beth cries. She goes with T-Dog and Laurie, and T-Dog wants to go to the ocean, but eventually they reunite with the family and she goes to the camp. Obviously, throughout the season, the break between Season 2 and Season 3, Beth travels around in the winter. In Season 3, Beth helps clear out the walkers and then sings to the group. After her father is bitten, Beth helps care for him. During the attack by Andrew, she stays with her father. Beth lurks about for a bit and helps care for Michonne when Michonne arrives at the gates. Beth sort of helps out with the governor as governor's first attack, at least she's there. She sings some more. She looks after Judith. She becomes kind of a carer to Judith. She obviously watches Carl kill Jody and fires her gun in the air when Glenn and Merle have their little fight. And that's pretty much all Beth does in Season 3. She doesn't really do much at all. In Season 4 is a bit more eventful for Beth. Before it begins, she forms a relationship with a guy they recruited called Zach. But he of course soon dies. Daryl obviously tells Beth what happened, but she seems not to care, but she's just kind of learnt not to cry anymore. Judith throws up on Beth in that one thing. She goes on a rant to Maggie how they all have jobs to do. During the final governor attack, Beth witnesses her father be killed and participates in defending the prison, then helps load people on the bus. She then meets up with Daryl and the two flee the prison together. Here the two bond, sort of. They eat a snake. And then Beth goes on this pointless mission to find some alcohol. Daryl obviously takes her to the shed where they have some moonshine instead. The two obviously have their little argument, and then they kind of make up. They obviously then later burn down the little shack they were in. Obviously later then they find a place with some drinks and snacks, and Beth plays the piano, and then obviously walkers come and Beth is kidnapped by the Grady Memorial people off screen, and we don't see her again until next season. And then in Season 5, Beth awakens at the hospital. Beth starts to work off considering they quote-unquote saved her. She then obviously meets Noah. She learns more about the place and how it's bad. She meets Dawn, who is an utter bitch. She hits Beth and doesn't protest when Gorman tries to rape and sexually assault women. Obviously Joan is bitten later and Beth helps to amputate her arm. Dr. Edwards tricks Beth into killing a man they brought in as he was obviously a doctor. Beth knows that she can't trust anyone here. She soon sneaks off into Dawn's office where she finds Joan dead. Gorman comes in, a bit creepy, touching Beth up. Beth obviously knocks him to the ground and leaves him for dead. obviously to be killed by Joe. Noah and then Beth try and escape through the elevator shaft, but as they flee, Noah makes it, but Beth is caught and taken back to the hospital. Soon Beth gets some scissors and sees Carol being brought in to the hospital. Dawn has a run-in with O'Donnell, but where he confronts Dawn about helping Carol, and Beth interferes, making Dawn declare Carol a goner. But Beth makes Dr. Edwards help her anyway. Soon Beth sees Dawn and O'Donnell fight, and Beth finishes this officer by sending him down to the bottom of the elevator shaft. Soon Beth gets into her clothes as she's being traded off, obviously because Rick came and kidnapped the officers to make a trade. As she comes to the hallway, she is just delighted to be met by Rick and the others, but Dawn wants Noah for Beth. Beth stupidly looks at Dawn saying,
I get it now.
Beth falls to the floor dead, following Daryl to kill Dawn. Beth is then carried out of the hospital by Daryl, where Maggie breaks down and cries. Later, Beth is buried. She also appears in Tyrese's hallucinations in the episode after. So that's it for Beth. She wasn't exactly a solid character in my opinion, but she was a spring of joy in the misery. Some fans hated her and some fans found her extremely annoying, but others loved her complexity and were sad to see her die. Of course, there was a massive petition over her to bring her back. Anyway guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Any suggestions, please tell me and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.